What's up, everybody? Welcome to Based. I have a really cool thing to show off today. This is the LUCE by Jad Freer. Before we get too far into this, I'm a Jad Freer artist. I have a relationship with them already. They sent me this for review, but because I have an existing artist relationship with them, you should probably treat this as an advertisement, but I'm going to give you my honest thoughts. The LUCE is a transformer-based tube DI, and I thought I'd do kind of a shootout review today because I've got the LUCE, I've got other like expensive, very nice bass player things that, people are going to want to know what it sounds like up against. So let's check out some of this. Let's talk about what the LUCE really is. It is a transformer-based tube DI. It's got an in, it's got an output. The great thing about the output is that the output has the tone of the tube. That's not always the case with cool DI units. Like the Motown DI or the Rupert Neve DI here. They do add they impart color to your sound, but it's only on the XLR out. It doesn't make it to your amp or pedals down the chain because you hit a transformer to convert it to a mic level signal. So this, when you're going through it, you're hearing the sound of the tube. You're not hearing the sound of the transformer, but that coloration goes on to your amp or whatever else, which I think is a huge plus. They've also put a lot of thought into this through output. This through output is uncolored, but you can hit this sum button, and all of a sudden these are two inputs that sum to one set of outputs. So that'd be awesome if you're using a synthesizer or some kind of stereo unit. That is a very cool feature. It makes me want to throw this on my board and have my synth go in here, and maybe this is farther down the line so that I can have one output to front of house, or I can run my synth through my amp pretty easily. You can also throw this pretty early in your chain to get the benefit of the tube buffer and make this your clean DI. There's a ton of possibilities. So let's talk about what I'm hearing. Typically on transformer DIs, let's ignore the tube for a minute. I hear a pretty clean top end. I mean, yeah, there's some overtones, but it's generally pretty clean up there. And then the low end, you get a little bit more of those overtones. This matters a lot to me, and still, it can be a bit subtle between device to device. For the tube items, I hear a little bit of harmonics on the top end in the saturation that I don't necessarily hear with transformer items. And when you combine the two, like the Noble, which the Noble is a preamp, it's not a really fair comparison because this is a DI. That is a preamp and a DI, so you need to pair this with a preamp. I hear kind of that color on the top end and then a totally new combination of colors on the low end. when I'm shooting back and forth, like if these are the only things we're taking into account, the tube-based items with the transformers were absolutely my preference. I think this is a really cool product. I think it's built really well, and especially for those people that are bringing out modelers and they're wanting to pair that with a good DI like a Noble or an RNDI or something like that. This would absolutely 100% be my recommendation, especially those people that are trying to keep it really slim. This checks all the boxes and somehow it's tiny. I genuinely think this is really cool. And this is the kind of thing that interests me more than a lot of other pedals coming to the market right now that are trying to emulate things or they're trying to copy things or whatever. This does the tube and transformer thing amazingly well. It has the benefit of buffering and summing. If I was looking for a bass DI right now, this is probably what I'm going to look at for bass guitar. The color it imparts is probably less flexible. So if you want a DI that can do everything and you know it's going to sound great on your like weird accordion project instead of bass guitar, then maybe you go with something that's imparting less character. But I enjoy things these days that have a high amount of character, and I think you really hear that here. Anyway, I hope you like it. Let me know what you thought.